Daily message for the 8th of January of 2017, received in the city of Orlando, Florida, United States, transmitted by Mary, Rose of Peace, to the visionary Friar Elías del Sagrado Corazón. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. Dear children, after having been on pilgrimage through the United States of America, crossing the nation from one end to the other, your Heavenly Mother, by request of the Father, finishes her pilgrimage in Orlando, a place where illusion and fantasy are the main content of the life of many souls, which we call entertainment. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. The Father has sent me to bring a little consciousness and in this way be able to remove from the seat millions of souls that are submerged in this plane, and most of all, who confirm it and believe it. The children are the main object of the elaboration of gruesome plans, coated with beautiful artistic fantasies that cause all the attention to be placed on the superficial, leaving consciousnesses very hypnotized from quite some time, without reasoning ability or logic, and without a lack of discernment. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. The plan of my adversary was well made, because through entertainments people forget they have a soul which is capable of evolving and of growing spiritually. In this way, the inner senses of the consciousness are blocked and replaced by external stimuli, filled with fanaticism, desires, and ambitions. All these effects have an impact on the spiritual plan of the soul, especially when a life of prayer does not exist and is not practiced. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. The games that the world offers at this present time encourage constant competition and separation among people, leaving great gaps in the space of the consciousness that are used to inseminate codes opposed to love and to truth. For instance, codes of power, of ownership, and of excessive consumption, generating an imbalance in all the planes of consciousness. Entertainment was a complete deviation from the purpose, because it was another energy that from the beginning attracted other false needs, capable of controlling and of manipulating the life of people through systems created for this purpose. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. In this sense, entertainment generates in all bodies an illusion of mental rest and a supposed joy that pleases the plane of emotions. If all this is observed with maturity and wisdom, it can be perceived that there is absolutely nothing spiritual or evolutionary that exists there. The life of souls that are submerged all the time in this lower field of consciousness is within this roulette wheel game, from where it is afterwards very difficult to emerge. Determination and discernment are also discouraged in human beings to the point of leaving the consciousness highly dependent on something that is purely artificial and fictional. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. If at this time souls are still submerged in these realities, such as entertainment, and allow themselves to be constantly abused by the codes that my adversary radiates through the systems of entertainment and of leisure, humanity will remain in a subliminal state of hypnotism and of profound indifference, since their inner senses will be deactivated and disconnected from the consciousness. Those who awaken to higher life and still do not know it must make a greatest effort in the name of humanity in order to be able to balance before the universe what millions of souls live all the time in opposition to true essence and true evolution. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. In this incarnation, souls lose the chance of living self-knowledge and of penetrating the universe of spirit. Only when the soul abandons the material bodies does it become tardily aware of the deep illusion that it was living. And then it is taken to another plane, to another school of learning, known to souls as purgatory, where they learn how to settle and to balance what was not learned in incarnated life. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. Because of this, in this hour, it will be important for all to know that humanity resists learning about higher life, because it is constantly immersed in the ambiguity and in the restlessness that is generated by the living of material desires, which have no inner meaning and even less spiritual one. Many souls will become aware of their degree of illusion when it is too late. In this way, the Mother of Love approaches one of the cities in the United States that rules a large part of the planetary consciousness, making it dependent on entertainment and on fun. To close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. In an extraordinary and inexplicable way, your Heavenly Mother has received a higher permission to descend over a city, such as the city of Orlando, to leave certain seeds of light sown in the depths of inner beings, which in the future will bear fruit for the new times of the planet. It will depend on each soul and on each being to decide to abandon that illusion, which is already part of a dimension where souls live a personal hell, created through the results of games and of entertainment. Even though capital energies will be purified during the acute cycle of humanity, the time has come for soldiers who are awake to offer their prayers for all of this reality that causes the planetary consciousness to descend towards the lower planes, and in this manner leading the subconsciousness to depend on totally artificial and lifeless recreations. I hope that the most awake may work double on behalf of those who are sleeping and those who do not have the inner resources to break away from this, to close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. The closing of this pilgrimage in Orlando will try to leave sown in the consciousness an awakening capable of making it possible to rethink the forms in which millions of people live in this world. It is for this reason, dear children, that every day I invite you to close the eyes to superficial life and open the consciousness to non-material life. I thank you for responding to my call. Who loves you and blesses you, your Mother Mary, Rose of Peace.